Okay, Sunday morning in the kingdom and off to a good start this morning. We got the vacuum. Remember the vacuum? All right, I'll put it down. Don't look at the cleavage. Yes, my man boobs. I'm going to need one of those Seinfeld man's ears or whatever, bra's ears or whatever. Yes, with Kramer. All right, this morning we woke up to a warm temperature of minus 31 Celsius, but feels like minus 40 Celsius. And then on the yo-yo scale, minus 23 Fahrenheit. Ooh, that's so warm. But feels like minus 40. Yes, 40 Fahrenheit. Oh, that's the only time the two temperatures are the same. 40 below is 40 below. Yes, and it's a little chilly this morning. Still be a shop day in the morning, but I already planned out what I'm going to do today. All right. What else we got? Oh yes, thank you for buying us a coffee this week. We really supports the channel, and Sir Rodney will be spending the money wisely on items for the kingdom on the next pallet. All right, let's back up and see what I did this morning already. Yes. You think having one Mr. Heater was bad enough, and for dramas, that's like saying I do, but we have the first one. Yes, the first time I said I do. We bought this in November of 2018, and it was running fine, and then it did the code 2. Can you see that light flashing there? So here we got a note from December 21st, 2024. It's flashing code 2, so we just got mad and dragged it into the shop. We think code 2 means it's too cold out here. It's flashing on Mr. Heater. It's too cold. So we'll have to drag it over to the shop and warm it up. It's a little chilly out here for the Me phone. Yes. So I think it actually started coding out in 2023 or 2022, and we just walked away from it. Yeah, that's when I became retired or whatever, and I didn't care if the equipment started or not. I just went back into the house and I would just say had a beverage to think about it. So I think we're going to have to put that in the shop, Mr. Heater, and see what code 2 is. We might have to put a heater blanket on it or warm it up. I took it out of the hose shack here and it didn't like it. All right, let's get to work. Here comes the boss, even on a Sunday. What an asshole.
Sunday morning in WHO-ville, it's just after 9:30, and as you can see, there's a nice sunrise. It is pretty chilly out here right now. It's as cold as it was yesterday, so let's head inside, see if the dogs want to go out and make breakfast. Then at 1 p.m. I'll get the Yamaha started and head over to the kingdom.
Okay, we're off to a slow start, but also too, we worked over a half an hour or 45 minutes this morning gathering with the dogs. Yes, gathering. It's too cold to walk them in the wilderness, plus the big bad wolf is still around. And then also too, we dragged everything in. We have to put air in the tires. I don't know why, especially the wheelbarrow. When it gets cold, the front tire goes flat. Yeah, it's the front tire. Oh my, that's why it's a wheelbarrow. And we're also in a high pressure air system. The coffee boiled in I would say under 5 minutes, not like in a low pressure system for the last 2 days. 10 minutes to boil a cup of water, and now the stoves are burning hot, which is nice, and it's the same freaking wood. All right, let's see if we can take Mr. Heater apart. I googled it and it showed me everything but for this heater. Yes, so why do I Google? I can't figure that out. Oh well, it'll be the knowledge I learned off the other one, and if things come to worst comes to worst, this will be under the other track of the D6 cat when we drive over the first useless Mr. Heater. Okay, that wasn't bad lifting it up because the fuel tank's almost empty. Yes, when these things are full of fuel, they're quite heavy, and this thing's just like the other one. But look at all the purple marks here. It looks like I've been in here once before, probably servicing it. And here's the problem right here, I guess. It cracked out. Oh well, let's see if we can fix that. Oh wait, we have parts in the other heater that we haven't crushed yet. Okay, I dragged the parts machine in, known as Mr. Useless Heater. Yes, so we got the hoses off. We had to use the heat gun because it was out in the snowbank at, say, 40 below zero. Yeah, so we used the heat gun, got the pieces off. I think there's a couple other items we can, salvage for the next time before we crush it. So we changed out the hoses. This is the air hose off of this one over there, and it's longer, so I ran it over into that hole. This is the one here. This is the fuel line. Big crack. You can see it there. And the air line off the pump in the back here. All right. I just shortened it. Yes. Use your heat gun to warm everything up. And that's how you work when it's 40 below. All right. Let's drag this thing outside and test it. We're not testing it in the shop. It could blow up. Okay, the bigger Mr. Diesel heater is up and running for over 45 minutes now. Yeah, so no sense heating the air outside the shop because the people in Wisconsin won't notice the difference when this cold Arctic air arrives. All right, I'll stop the video here and then we'll walk closer. I can't talk with it screaming. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and Laverne didn't want to start. His starter had issues, so oh well. We always have a second cat plugged in, so we have Curse, the reverse, who was up and running yesterday. We'll use the diesel heater to warm him up. Yes, and also too, Mr. Heater's running great. But then again, it was purchased in 2018 in November, so back then it was quality. You look at Mr. Heater sitting on the table there, purchased in 2022, it's 100% junk. There's no quality in workmanship or assembly or anything. All right, let's go burn some lunch in the microwave.
12 p.m. and I'm just getting ready to make lunch. Today I'll have scrambled eggs with toast, homemade hash browns, and bacon. Now let's head inside. The dogs haven't been out very much. It is chilly out here. I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but there's sun dogs out. You know, it's cold when the sun dogs are out and around the sun. It's actually supposed to be cold the next few days, so I don't think we'll be doing too much in the kingdom, but at 1 p.m. I'll head on over and see what my dad's up to. Almost 1 p.m. and I'm just finishing up lunch and I got the Yamaha out. It started no problem. Few pulls and it started right up. Now I'll head over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to, and then I have to fill the toboggan and do some firewood. Made it to the kingdom. Now I'll head down to the shop with the Yamaha and hook onto the toboggan so I can fill the pails at the long trailer, and then when the mini comes out I'll put the toboggan with the mini and then head down to the wood pile and fluff that up and fill up the toboggan. While I'm doing that, my dad's going to get one of the cats started. Hopefully they start. It is pretty cold out here and he'll do some dragging. Down at the shop, and Curse reverse started up no problem. My dad had the big diesel heater on the bottom of it, as you can see. Left it for a little while and it started right up. This big Mr. Heater has worked no problem since we've got it. Unlike the other heater we have, the one I had in WHO-ville, we've had nothing but problems with that one. Now we'll let it warm up a little bit, then unhook the salvage sloop, then we'll hook onto the drag and my dad can head down the south trails. While my dad heads down the south trail and does some dragging, I'm going to head over to the long trailer and fill the pails. Then I'll get the mini out and head down to the wood pile and fill the toboggan. Up at the long trailer, it didn't take me very long to fill the pails. I even put a little bit of stuff in the front there for the wagon. Now I'll head back around to the shop and the hose shack and put everything away, and then I'll get the mini out. 2 p.m. and I got the mini out. Now I'm down at the wood pile and I'll quickly fill the toboggan and fluff up the pile here and go around and fluff up the wood pile in the back. I'll pan over here and show you guys the sun dogs. They're getting pretty big. You can actually see a whole ring around the sun now. That is cold.
Okay, I'm on the south trail with no Lily Tomlin mic, so I have to drag it because it's rocks and more rocks. But we were down here knocking down trees, part of the forest firefighting we did last summer. Yes. So now we always go back and clean up anything we did. So you can see the rocks. All right, can you see the rocks? We have no snow because all the rocks are sticking up like a Chinese checkerboard turned upside down. So I have to drag it first to be able to pull the sloop down here so we can throw some trees. Yes, recycle, repurpose, and reuse. All right, let's get back to the kingdom where it's warm. Also too, we would never come down here with the wagons or the quads to try and haul these trees out because way too many rocks. Wait for it to snow, make a smooth road, and it works out well. Okay, the staff is de-tinning the wood. Yes, the firewood. We finally figured out how to do it. Let's walk over.
Just after 2 p.m. and I was able to get the toboggan filled. My dad came down when he was done with the drag and helped me fill the toboggan while I broke apart one of the old sheds we have. Good thing we're doing the breaking apart down here, else that would be a big mess up in the kingdom, all those nails and tin. Now let's head back and put everything away. Made it back up to the host shack, no problem. Put the toboggan and the mini away. My dad just went to go park the drag, then he'll bring the cat back around towards the shop here. That way it can be plugged in, and if we have to put the big diesel heater on it, it's not that far away. Got everything put away. I'm officially done in the kingdom, so I'll head back into WHO-ville and see if the dogs want to go out. They have not been out very much today because it is chilly. Then I can end my day at 5 p.m. and do the weather.
Okay, it's after coffee and I did some work already. I'm in the host shack. Can you tell by the lovely ladies? Ooh, look at the ladies. So over here, okay, this was never designed to be what it is, but it's, I would say, kind of come together. So we have these fluorescent lights. We had more of them in here, but we took some out for the staff's house because this is where we cut rocks originally and played with rocks back when we were, I would say, with the drill programs and before we drank the Kool-Aid. So I wired in that plug in there for lights only. So when I turn on the light switch, over here, yes, over here, the LED lights come on, so they'll be for off-grid living. So also too, this was never planned out. The original building was a container, insulated or paneled and everything. That's why the light switch is here. Yeah, because this was the door, and then we closed it into the loader shed, and we just kind of kept carrying on and carrying on. But the good thing, there's no building codes here in WHO-ville. It's all about survival. So we got lights on, so now I can cut this wood here. So the staff smashed up that building, and it was the forklift shed or whatever. It came from the gun club of WHO-ville, south of town. And look at what they did back in the day. To stop the wind blowing through the shiplap or shipboard or tongue and groove board, yeah, they put this paper. Can you say the paper burn? So anytime we bring anything in like this, we got to make sure we get the paper all out. I hand stacked this like Juan Valdez or whatever, that coffee guy, to make sure that the paper was all on one side so I could cut it out. And then I'm using the skill saw right there to trim it up, and this will go in the wood stove. So it didn't take long for the wood stove to bring this up to temperature. For some reason, this wood stove puts out heat. It's either 30 degrees Celsius in here, like 85 degrees, and it's happy. That seems to be its happy medium. But as long as the hoe is happy, see the hoe over here? As long as the hoe's happy, everybody's happy. Okay, it's 5 o'clock and we still have one more job to do, but I stripped Mr. Heater. Yes, the useless one. Yes, I'm very pleased that the big heater worked, but it's totally different. This, get working on this one, and it's so crude and rough. It's a different factory that built this heater. All right, so we saved all the pieces, we unplugged everything, and we made sure the sensor eye is well protected because we don't want any dirt or scratches or anything down there. Ooh, that reminds me of a Judas Priest song, Electric Eye, I think it is. Oh my. All right, let's get this stuff put away and get that ready to be squished with a TD-6 cat. Yes, and it'll hang on the wall, the memorial wall, with all the other MIG welders and plasma cutters. And then one more project to do, and then we can call it quits. It is a Sunday. We should be at the church supper today. Okay, me again. That thing puking out the diesel fuel, I would say, made it great fun with the wires and everything that were underneath, so they're all kind of icky. Yes, but here's that electronic thingy. Okay, there was some comments on the YouTube channel, and it doesn't look like they're squared up. They look a little out. Yes, they don't even straight to each other. kind of like a bad spark plug electrode thingy me bob on the end. Oh, well, maybe that's half the problems. But we're learning. Yes, if we didn't learn on this one, fixing the other one today would not have been so easy. All right, let's get on to the final project of the day, and the boss will be happy. Okay, that didn't take long because I have my notes. I got the 38 GMC on the timer, the 39 Chevy, and build a ash hook. Yes, we're in the wood stove in the house. We need to be able to pull the ash or the hot coals back. So we had this piece of flat that was already bent that way, so we made it artistic. And then we went and found a piece of rebar, the exact length. Oh yes, I have talent. All right, let's go check on the flags.
5 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's minus 24 degrees Celsius, which is minus 11 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. It was pretty chilly in the kingdom this afternoon, but got nice towards the end. Now let's head inside, let the dogs out, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, that's it for today. We're going to quickly walk the dogs and then call it a that's it. Yes, we got the 38 GMC plugged in, the 39 Chevy back there. Well, the wood stoves are putting out some smoke, and I think this is what, week 2, useless and useless 2, or not doing anything. Buy a wind generator and the wind stops. Yes, that's what happened. All right, so let's quickly see what we got. Ooh, we got a little bit of sunset over there, but not much. All right, look at the flags. They're a tangled mess. Oh my. All right, let's quickly walk the dogs and make a video, and we'll talk to you later.